How many Indiana Jones games have you played since 1982? Today we're embarking on a daring journey through the evolution of Indiana Jones games as we anticipate the new one coming out this year. From the humble beginnings of pixelated adventures to the more immersive experiences of the 21st century, it's time to grab your fedora and let's jump right in.
Time to go to work.
Raiders of the Lost Ark set the stage in 1982 for the Atari. As one of the first licensed video games ever made, players control Indiana Jones on a quest to find the Ark of the Covenant. Unlike the movie, the game doesn't follow a linear storyline, but instead offers a puzzle-solving adventure, requiring players to use various items to advance. This game was considered one of the first movie tie-in games ever created. Then we have 1984's Indiana Jones and the Lost Kingdom. This lesser-known gem also introduced players to the whip-cracking action on home computers like the Commodore 64 and Apple II. It also doesn't directly connect to any specific movie plot, but it sets the tone for future indie games with its exploration and puzzle-solving gameplay. Following year in 1985, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom made its way to arcades worldwide. Players found themselves navigating obstacles and facing off against thuggy warriors, all in a quest to rescue enslaved children and recover the sacred Sankara stones. Following the plot of the movie, players guide Indy, Willie Scott, and Short Round through a series of action-packed levels, culminating in a showdown with the thuggy cult. Interestingly, the arcade version of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom featured a unique control scheme with a rotary joystick. Now we're moving on to 1987. Next we have Indiana Jones and the Revenge of the Ancients. In this text-based adventure, players assume the role of Indy as he embarks on a quest to unravel the mysteries of ancient civilizations and recover valuable artifacts, of course, with allies like Salah and Marcus Brody. While the game features original storylines and characters, it maintains the adventurous spirit of the Indiana Jones franchise, offering players an opportunity to immerse themselves in the world of archaeology and exploration. Fast forward to 1989, we have two Indiana Jones games that were released in the same year that The Last Crusade came out. First was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade: The Graphic Adventure. Players are treated to a point-and-click adventure. You guide Indy through a series of interactive scenes, solving puzzles, and making choices that affect the outcome of the story with characters from the movie like Henry Jones Sr., Marcus Brody, and love interest Elsa Schneider. Then Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the action game, came out later that year. This game is all about fast-paced action and thrilling platforming. Players take control of Indiana Jones as he jumps, climbs, and fights his way through various levels. The visuals are simple yet effective, with side-scrolling graphics reminiscent of classic performers. Then, in 1991, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out on NES. The Japanese version of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade offered a distinct gameplay experience from other adaptations. This version is notable for its platforming elements and unique interpretation of the movie's plot, showcasing the era's diversity in game design. Next, in 1992, a year later, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles came out on NES, which attempted to capitalize on the television series of the same name. The game presented various adventures across the globe, though it struggled to capture the show's educational and adventurous spirit. It remains a unique attempt to explore the character's younger years in video game form. Next, in 1992, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Now, this was one of my favorites as a kid. This game took a more action-oriented approach to the story found in the later graphic adventure, providing a different gameplay experience focused on exploration and combat. Not only is this game celebrated for its engaging story and puzzles, but it also featured multiple endings and paths. This design choice significantly increased the game's replayability. This leads us to 1994. We have a couple things here, starting with Indiana Jones's Greatest Adventures, which was for SNES, Super Nintendo. And this is a thrilling, side-scrolling platformer that condensed the action of all three original films into one epic. You faced Nazis in the deserts of Egypt, you escaped the rolling boulder in the jungles of South America, and it combined action, exploration, and puzzle solving. Now, this game faithfully recreates iconic moments from the original trilogy, and it features a roster of characters like Marion Ravenwood, Salah, and adversaries like the Major Arnold and the Nazis. One of the standout features of this was its attention to detail, with each level meticulously recreating iconic moments from the films. Moving on to Sega Genesis, this was the Instruments of Chaos. This is another title that explores the youthful adventures of Indy. The game blends historical fiction with action-adventure gameplay, although it received mixed reviews for its execution. And again, this was on Sega Genesis. Next, in 1996, we saw Indiana Jones and his desktop adventures for PC and Mac. This offered a unique, randomly generated adventure each time it was played, which is very interesting. Designed for shorter, more casual gameplay sessions, it allowed players to explore different aspects of the Indiana Jones universe in a less linear fashion. This game was part of an experimental line of desktop adventures. The engine was also used for Star Wars: The Yoda series. Then in 1999, we have the Infernal Machine. I remember this one very well. This was one of my favorites. And this was a return to the action-adventure genre with 3D graphics and a story set during the Cold War. We navigated Indy through various archaeological sites, battling enemies and solving puzzles in a quest to prevent a Soviet plot. While not fully open world in the modern sense, it offers large, expansive levels with multiple paths and areas to explore, which was a big deal at the time. And the PC version of the game included a secret level that could only be unlocked by modifying a game file. This level was a fully fleshed out bonus that many players missed. In 2003, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb provided an immersive action-adventure experience set before the events of Temple of Doom. This is 4 years later, so in the computer world, that's a big deal. This had improved combat and graphics, it captured the cinematic feel of the movies,
I can use this water to fill up my canteen.
and offered fans an engaging story of an archaeological adventure. Although more linear in structure, this game still offers relatively large and detailed levels where players can explore and interact with the environment. One of the game's levels is set in Prague and features a cameo from the Golem of Prague, a legendary figure from Jewish folklore. This inclusion is a nod to the historical and mystical elements that often inspire the Indiana Jones series. Moving along to The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones on PC 2007-8. This was another attempt at the Young Indiana Jones, and it offered educational content mixed with adventure, reflecting the educational aim of the TV series. They provided insight into historical events and figures, aligning with the show's mission to educate and entertain. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull also came out in 2008, but just on mobile phones, and this allowed fans to experience the latest cinematic adventure in a new format on a mobile device. Next, we have the LEGO Indiana Jones Original Adventures from 2008. This was on various platforms, and it brought the whimsy and fun of LEGO to the Indiana Jones saga. Covering the original trilogy, the game was acclaimed for its humor, creative puzzles, and co-op mode. What's funny is it humorously omits any direct references to the Nazis due to the LEGO brand's family-friendly policy. So instead, the game used generic villains to keep the content appropriate for all ages. Then in 2009, we had LEGO Indiana Jones 2, where the adventure continues in the mobile realm, ensuring that the spirit of adventure is always within reach. So we had various mobile adaptations for that. Then we had Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings in 2009. This was for various platforms like Wii, Nintendo DS, PSP, PlayStation 2. And this was an exciting entry into the Indiana Jones video game legacy, offering a mix of action, adventure, puzzle solving. And here's a fun fact that stands out about this particular game. One of the most fascinating features is the inclusion of the full version of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. So the 1992 point-and-click adventure game was an unlockable bonus in the Wii version of this game, showcasing LucasArts' commitment to honoring the franchise's history. And finally, in 2011, Indiana Jones Adventure World. Now, this was a collaboration between Zynga and Lucasfilm on Facebook. This was an attempt to blend the adventure and puzzle-solving elements with the social gaming sphere. However, the game was shut down in 2012, making it the last released game in the Indiana Jones series up until, of course, this year. My personal favorites, if you've never played them, from everything I've listed, are Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis from 1992, The Emperor's Tomb from 2003, and The Infernal Machine from 1999. And if you really love Indiana Jones and you love the movies, you may find that playing these games helps you expand the world into other storylines you may not have really known about. And finally, our journey into the world of Indiana Jones video games brings us to the highly anticipated release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle coming out this year. Depending on when you've watched this video, it may already be out. Developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda, this action-adventure game promises to immerse players in an original narrative deeply rooted in the iconic film series. This is set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Of course, it follows Indy in 1937 as he races against time to thwart various factions seeking to harness the power connected to mysterious sites around the world known as the Great Circle. Spanning across real-world locations like Rome, Thailand, Egypt, and the Himalayas, players will embark on a globe-trotting adventure filled with danger and intrigue. The game seamlessly blends chronologically told story-driven segments with expansive, exploratory landscapes. It's going to offer players the choice to engage in combat or utilize stealth mechanics to overcome challenges. It's clear Indy's whip will be an iconic feature, serving not only as a weapon but also a tool to traverse and to solve puzzles. With a mix of first-person and third-person perspectives, players will experience the thrill of swinging over gaps and scaling walls, all while uncovering hidden secrets and collectibles. Announced in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is poised to captivate fans with its immersive gameplay and rich storytelling, and rest assured, as soon as I can get my hands on it, I will jump right in. This is the first Indiana Jones game developed since 2009, outside of that attempt on Facebook. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that quick overview. As a huge fan of Indiana Jones, I just wanted to put that together and encourage you to check some of these games out before you dive into the Great Circle. It's always fun to see how a franchise grows and how you have all this new technology and new things that you can incorporate, but there are still things that stay true to the roots of where it came from. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. I also make travel films, so every now and then, I may post an IRL video on my channel, but I'm doing a lot more gaming now because it's something that I really enjoy and I can do more often when I'm at home. Thanks for your support and have a wonderful day.